We are live, episode 89. I am your co-host Pisky, and I am joined, as always, by the one and only Godfather.
Let's go.
How's it going, senor? You said you're pissed already. Right out of the gate, he's pissed, folks. What's he pissed about this week?
This week. Every day. What are you talking about?
You said
Let's
you're tired.
go.
We almost pushed this to Saturday. We almost pressed this to Saturday because Godfather said, I'm tired. Wait, you ran out of espresso at your house or what?
No, I'm on my last box. Thanks for reminding me. I gotta replenish.
Why are you tired?
I don't know. Too much stress. Chasing this, chasing that. Grading this, grading that.
Too much stress, winning sports bets. Having to collect money, eating at fancy steakhouses. Too much stress.
Well, you know what? Correct.
Why don't we start with that? Thanks for joining us, everybody. Welcome to episode 89. 89, Godfather. We're almost at the century mark.
Please,
and I'm telling you guys now.
Baby Jesus Christ, let me get
we're 11 away. We're 11 away, and we are taking a break.
And then we're taking 6 fucking months off. You understand?
I think it takes us to the end of May. So that'll be perfect. The dog days of summer, we'll take a little break, refresh, and come back strong in August. I got nothing to say in the summer.
Zero.
Feels like, honestly, when football goes away, it feels like it's a little bit of a struggle every week. But saying that, I'm looking at the numbers. People keep showing up. They keep watching us, boneheads.
Why?
I don't know. And we've even had a couple people reach out on X this past week and said, I'm getting in the groove of this podcast. I'm vibing with you guys. Something like that. Yeah, I don't know the exact wordage. I tried to look it up before we went live, but I couldn't find it. Anyways, thank you for that.
Fancy words.
No, it was something. He's starting to get in the groove or something like that. Sorry, I obviously forget to write shit down all the time, but that was one of them I couldn't go back and find.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways. Let's start with, we showed everyone that we were at a nice steakhouse. We had a nice lunch this past week. What? Oh, what? Wait, you got someone coming in here?
No.
Can get me back
I don't
with that
do
stuff?
shit like that. Time out. Do not say we showed everybody we were somewhere. You showed! Can't go nowhere! And I don't like the picture you used. Okay?
You know what? I told you.
Mid-bite. Who does that?
Dude, the waiter didn't even put down the fucking plate.
Well,
pardon my
you know
language,
what?
Mom, Danny.
The
waiter didn't even put down the plate.
I'm fucking hungry.
And you're stuffing your face with French fries.
I'm hungry. What's wrong with that?
So we're sitting at the table, and you guys know I like to document this journey. We're trying to have a little fun, Godfather style. We're in a nice old school steakhouse.
Yeah, man.
And
tell them where we went.
We went to Barty's.
Oh, okay.
Barty's. Yes. Sorry, I was in front of my mouth there, itching my nose. Barty's. I have a story about that, by the way. Give me a sec. Barty's, Godfather, how long have you been going there for?
Me? I probably went there for the first time over 30 years ago. That's how long it is.
Really?
They used to serve their steaks on wooden plates.
Really?
Yeah, that was the
wooden. Like a piece of wood would show up to your table?
Yes, with the steak on it.
Come on. Yeah. Sizzling? Not sizzling. No, I can't sizzle.
What is it? Fucking Ruth Chris here? No, it is old school on a wooden plate.
Old school.
We are talking 30 years ago. I'm a man of the city. I used to hang out all the time.
Okay? I know you're a man of Toronto, but the wait staff was super cool.
They're Barbarians is another old school.
Do you know the owner, Aaron Barbarian?
Well, I mean, I've been a couple of times. To say I know him, I'm not a social media douchebag going around name dropping. But
is that what you call me?
No, I'm not calling you.
Oh.
If you started doing that shit, you'd get a call.
The only reason I know of him is because he was buddies with Corey.
Oh,
Crawford.
nice.
Yeah. So we went a couple times when he would come into town and play the Leafs. And yeah,
Proper
the guy's
steakhouse.
guy's quite the character, Aaron
Very.
Barbarian. That's how he introduces
Yes.
himself.
Yes.
Anyways, we
Anyway,
had a nice lunch at Barty's. Godfather came
absolutely.
down and visited me
Apparently, I
at
ate my
WeWork.
food too fast. I'm fucking hungry.
No, so what happened there is I'm trying to document everything, and I said, "Give me a Godfather look," and you gave me the nastiest look. I said, "No, give me another one," and then it didn't get any better. So I snapped a third time, and that's when I got you mid French fry bite.
See, I don't know.
So
Nobody else would even attempt these offensive practices, but you somehow you get away with it. I don't know. One day. But yeah, it was a good place. Nice lunch. You know,
we got to see one of our
I
friends.
didn't want to come down. Blah blah. I don't want to go anywhere.
I know, folks. I had to force him to come down. He was giving me excuses. Oh, Pisky, the weather's going to be bad. A storm's coming in. I'm like, what is it? You could just say I'm not coming. It's simple.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Get better with shave.
I don't like being called out like that.
Yeah. Well, it worked. You got your ass down there, and we were able to meet up with a nice friend of ours. Shout out to Proline John.
Yeah.
It was fun to share a meal with him. Yeah, no, he's solid. He's Greek. Solid. What do you expect?
Well, that part's sort of 50-50.
What else did we have to say about Barty's?
Well,
I have to watch my ums. I have to watch my ums and my ahs. You saw why?
What, you're talking about Toastmasters now?
I joined Toastmasters finally.
But what? Okay, I don't know what happened because I do other stuff. Next time, remind me. We have obligations, and you're Toastmastering. Make me stressed out.
Oh, you're talking the betting stuff.
Let's go. Let's go.
That's true. I didn't touch base.
So why did you say that you crashed on your first?
So I'll tell you the story. So guys, I've been talking about Toastmasters forever. I probably said it a few times on this podcast. It's something I've always had a passion for. A lot of people actually pumped my tires a little bit. Shout out to everyone that did that and said, Pisky, you're overqualified for Toastmasters because you're supposed to go there when you're maybe English is your second language and you're really nervous in front of people. And I don't think that's 100% accurate. Yes, that exists for people that need to improve their public speaking, and a lot of companies sponsor their employees to go there and improve. But man, I was there last night, and there's all different groups, right?
Lots of people. Lots of people.
There was a dozen. There was a dozen of us.
Oh, that's all. Okay.
And I went in, and man, there were a couple guys there that had been members since 2017. They told me, and dude, they were good. They were really good.
They take that shit serious.
Yeah, they had competitions and everything.
Did they have the banner? Did they have the Toastmaster banner?
Of course. And the
gavel.
The gavel. Yes, they had that. So yeah, it was a really cool experience. I'm glad that I finally did it because who likes these people that just talk about things that they're gonna do? Actions speak louder than words, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Do you like talkers, Godfather?
No, I don't like people. Let alone talkers.
So, okay, the meeting was at 7:30 last night. So I was finishing up at WeWork. I was at the WeWork downtown on University Street. If you don't know Toronto transit right now is an absolute mess. There is construction going on King Street that totally disrupts everything. So here I am. I leave at about 6:45. I think I have plenty of time because the organizer told me to get there about 15-20 minutes early just so I can introduce myself to a few people and get a lay of the land type of thing. I'm like, all right, no problem. So I get on the first streetcar. That one gets as far as Spadina and says, yeah, this is rerouting to God knows where. You got to get off if you want to continue going west. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty annoying. So I get off at Spadina. I get on the next one. Next one goes as far as Shaw. But no, I'm at a crunch for time. So in the middle of all this transition, my phone dies. So I have the instructions on which building it is. I knew it was in Liberty Village somewhere. I have the punch code for the security, like when you get into the building, the dial
entry code.
Entry code, sorry. Yes, there we go. I have that on my phone. I have the person that I was communicating with. I didn't study the guy's name.
Yeah,
so now I'm in the dark.
This generation.
I'm completely in the dark.
Your phone.
I know.
Dead.
You
don't know where to go. You don't know what to do. You don't know who it is.
Completely in the dark. But I managed to somehow remember the building number and the code. The code was just to get to security, and then once I got into security, they told me go up to the 4th floor. No problem. So I get in there, but now, like, I'm a sweaty mess because, I'm
this
nervous.
Just frazzled you to shit.
Oh, absolutely.
Even before your introduction to Toastmasters.
7:30 meeting time. Mm-hmm. I got in. The guy told me to be there 7:15, 7:20. I wanted to be there at 7. Charge my phone, relax, take it easy, maybe find an espresso somewhere. No. I got in there at 7:25. So I'm sweating bullets, right? I'm uncomfortable as hell. They hand me this agenda. Dude, agenda. Like, when's the last time we worked together for 13 years? When's the last time we had, like, a proper agenda? I can see you're about to crack up because we did work at, we won't even mention the name. Everybody knows.
You don't do well with agendas anyway, so...
I instantly intimidated because I'm like, what the, like, detailed. 7:07 or 7:37 we're talking about this. 7:45 we're talking about this. And they're going through, and it's one person's job to take notes. It's one person's job to count my uhs and all that crap. There's another person checking grammar. So I'm like, shit.
You think self-improvement just happens? You need structure. And someone like you need a lot of structure.
I know. I struggle with that. I struggle with that. Okay, so we get going. The meeting starts, blah, blah, blah. They get up, and there's a couple nervous people that get up and start talking, but I'm like, they didn't do too bad. And one guy tells his story. It's like his big speech, 10 minutes long, about his journey in Toastmasters and stuff. Great story. Amazing. Then there's an exercise where you get up as an individual, you stand in front of everyone, and someone hits you with a random question that you're not allowed to prepare for. Yeah. So 4 people go, and when you're sitting down, so I'm watching this. I'm sitting down, I'm watching this, and I'm like, I could have done that. I could have answered that. You only have to respond in 2 minutes. Okay, so it's nothing long and long-winded or anything. So all of a sudden, this guy next to me gives me an elbow after 4 people. He's like, Pisky, you're going to go up? I said, you know what? Yeah. Baptism by fire. I don't care. Let's do this. So I volunteer. I go up there. They hit me with a question that was something along the lines of, name a time where you gave, like, good advice and it was rejected. So I'm like, okay. So obviously my mind goes immediately to sports betting, right?
Well,
and I start
talk about what you know.
Yeah, exactly. So I start telling them that I do a lot of online content, and sometimes I tell the truth, and people don't like the truth, right? There's people that embrace it and say thank you very much.
You can handle the truth.
And there's other people that say you're out of your mind that you don't watch sports and bet on sports. You're out of your mind, Pisky. It doesn't make sense. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You get off social media. You're embarrassing yourself. There's those people, right? So I start giving this response, long-winded response. But here's the thing. None of these people have any sports betting background, or very, very small. Some of them even asked, what is sports betting? Which was kind of refreshing, to be honest, because it seems like that's all we talk about.
You got to change your circle.
Yeah. And then they don't realize who Pisky is, so they don't understand sarcasm. I put in a couple sarcastic remarks, crickets.
Asshole.
So now I start feeling the heat. Dude, I blacked out.
What do you mean?
Not like blackout, fall down, oh my God, someone call an ambulance. Blackout in my mind. I forgot the question. Seized up.
Oh.
So I start laughing, like, nervously, and I actually have to ask, can you please repeat the question? Like, a minute into this thing. So, anyways, I
Was this captured on film? Because I want a copy.
You like when I'm nervoso, don't you?
Yes. Yeah, you break my balls 24/7. If I get an opportunity, I should be afforded.
Anyways, I I put something together quick. I wrapped up my little story, and then I sat down, sweaty as hell. And yeah, I consider
you
my
said,
first ever Toastmaster speech a complete failure, but that's what I'm there for, right?
yeah.
But they did have the courtesy, to invite me for a beer afterwards. So we went down
really?
to Brazen Head in Liberty Village, had a brewski, and yeah, chatted up. And guess what? The main topic was during the beer drinking ceremony afterwards.
Sports wagering.
Bingo.
When
Because
people hear that term, they turn into like
yeah. Question
you know,
after question after question. And Taylor Swift got into the conversation about the Super Bowl and etc. etc.
You could say you're a brain surgeon. You're going to get less people talking. Nobody cares about brain surgery. You say, "Oh yeah, really? Okay, well, you're accomplished." You say that you know. I mean, we say me maybe normal looking person, right? Sports wagering. Oh my.
Especially nowadays, too, in the Ontario market, where you can't watch TV without someone force-feeding you an advertisement down your throat.
Yeah.
Am I right?
I remember one time I went to Rothman's business course for the RX employer, the OLG.
Yeah.
And this woman who was at the same course asked me, so, what do you do for the lottery? I didn't even finish saying Proline. She said, "Oh my God." She goes, "I can't wait to call my husband tonight and tell him I was talking to the Proline guy." You're the guy with Proline? Oh my God, my husband and Proline. And it just went on and on and on. And it's like, the rest of it was a 3-day conference. The other 2 days, I'm trying, I can't deal with this.
Yeah, it is. But you know what the most challenging thing is? It's fine to explain to people that, hey, I was the Proline guy for 13 years. But try telling them what came after that.
No,
That's or anything about Banfield Group or, a betting syndicate or anything like that.
No.
People just, well, first of all, I think they think I'm full of shit. Right? They're like, yeah, okay, pal. Yeah, sure. You can just pick winners or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They think in their minds. But yeah, and they kind of get wide-eyed as well when, they ask for my advice, like what's a good strategy for betting, and my answer 100% of the time, this is don't bet. So they're like, huh?
Yeah.
You just told us that you're able to make money in it. And then, you got to go into it a little bit deeper. But it was cool, man. Honestly, I'm going to stick with it. I like the group. It was very diverse. That's exactly what I needed, especially when someone asked, what is sports betting? That is exactly the kind of people I need to meet. And what this is big self-improvement stuff. And that's what I'm all about. Honestly, at this stage, that's good for you. You don't mean that.
What do you mean?
I can see the tongue in your cheek. What are you talking about?
Don't blame me like that. Good for you. Like most of the people on social media were saying, why are you doing this? You don't have a problem speaking in front of the camera, blah, blah, blah. But
this
social media is you and that fucking phone. Toastmasters and public speaking is totally different.
Different. Posture, hands.
Everything. So one day,
back and forth.
One day when you're Piscolito Tony Robbins on stage and there's 1,500 people in an auditorium and you're back and forth with the fucking microphone on your ear and you're pumping everybody up in the self-improvement fucking world, you need to fucking know how to do this.
Exactly.
How are we going to make money if you don't make it? Hurry up. Get better. Don't freeze next time.
It is very different. And yeah, I actually made it
Notice I said
a little
we.
bit. Yeah, of course. We haven't been together for how long now?
Too long.
Anyway, but yeah, they
good.
Did.
Good for you.
Thank you. They did perk up when I said my goal out of all this is to one day do a TED Talk.
There you go.
So then they hit me with, well, what are you going to talk about? And I'm like, I haven't got there. I haven't thought that far yet. So,
One thing at a time.
But you're right, Godfather. This is completely different because especially like a podcast like this, sure there's a camera on us right now, and this is kind of new for us, but I'm talking to you, right? And we just let a bunch of peeping toms come in and watch what we're doing. But I'm talking to you. World. I can talk to you easily. If I just had to present to you, we don't have a problem. But if I'm presenting to a bunch of people that don't know what sports betting is, whoa, that's a different ball game altogether.
That's okay. They're gonna, it's a highly acclaimed, very accredited type of organization. They take that shit serious.
They do.
As I told you, for 13 years, you had access to this at the OLG, but because you are so anti-corporate structure, it was right under your nose, and you wanted nothing to do with it. Nothing.
That's another thing that I got to loosen up on a little bit, because I know I am a contrarian, and I know I do not like the big corporations. When you're with people that, majority of these people work in these kind of industries, so I can't go in there and say, hey, corporations suck. Do everything yourself. Crypto's amazing. Speaking of crypto, we got to talk about it a little bit.
Okay, go. Well, I was just going to say, stop being you. Open your mind. Open my mind.
Open my mind, but being genuine is
genuine is
recommended.
Okay. It's recommended. It's preferred.
But open mind. I see what you're saying. I get it.
Not all corporations, not all companies are these evil platforms for suits and for old people like me and blah blah blah. You are in the. I can't even give you less than 1% of the public. Look at your life. What are you like? People need structure.
I do need structure.
And so do you. So good. Anyway, go ahead. Crypto, yes.
Crypto, yeah, let's talk about crypto.
I don't like when you make these fucking crypto, pumping crypto.
No.
Because you're a jinx.
That's not what it's about.
Because you're a jinx.
That's not what I was going to do with it. I actually have a video saved in my drafts that I haven't posted yet, because I did a video piece. When it gets hot like this, like, guys, if you haven't noticed, the crypto market now is like going bananas. Bitcoin's very close to an all-time high. Ethereum's close to very close to an all-time high.
We need higher.
Of course. We're crypto enthusiasts. We're always cheering crypto on, but the only advice I want to give, because everyone's like, it's like the sports bettors. Give us picks, right? Should I buy Bitcoin? Now, I haven't got too many of those texts yet, because usually that's a bad sign when people start texting me out of the blue. Hey, how do I buy Bitcoin? The only advice I want to give, and I'm going to do it every single time crypto is hot, is protect yourself. Protect yourself. Get yourself a ledger. I have one in here somewhere. Hold on. I'm going to dig for it. It's
just basically an external hard drive for layman's people.
Do not leave your crypto on an exchange. Here's the ledger. Here's what it looks like. Okay, it opens up like this. You plug it into your desktop. This is your access to the blockchain. This is what does it, folks. You cannot hack these. Now, I'm going to say this. They're probably going to have some sort of crazy leak or something. Protect yourself. Okay, someone made mention online that this is
use protection.
That's what this is. You got to do it. That is Pisky Positivo and the Godfather's only advice. The Godfather has one, right? He's involved in crypto.
Don't talk about my business.
First order of business, get yourself a ledger. There is a link in my bio on all my socials that will send you to the right place to buy one of those. It is a safe link. What I mean by that is there are a lot of shysters out there that create fake links that send you to a fake ledger website that get you to pump in your 24-word password that is basically...
Oh my God, no.
Yes, into a Russian website or something. That's not fair. We should to whatever website, to a fake website, they steal your 24 words and they steal your crypto, essentially. You get hacked. So the link in my bio is a safe link. It takes you directly to the Ledger website. You can order it online. You get it. You put all your crypto on there, and then at least you're doing it safe. And the reason why I do this...
Public service announcement. Just 1 second. Public service announcement.
Shoot.
If you get funny emails, listeners, forward them to Alex and ask him if they're real or fake. He does not mind, and he will get back to you ASAP.
Yeah. How many are still sitting in my inbox?
I really don't like when you don't respond to my 20. The first 10 you did, but now you stopped.
Dude, I don't know how they even have your email.
Dude,
I think maybe because you signed up a little bit later than I did. I am like an OG, so there was no linking email to crypto or like to Ledger account or something like that. But it's very important. And guys, the reason why I like to say it every time things are hot is because I'm a victim of getting hacked. In the early days of crypto, I didn't know what Ledger was. I didn't know what addresses were. I left all my crypto, not all of it. I had it on different exchanges. And the exchange got hacked. Wow, there's a bunch of them. You can look it up. I think one was on Bitfinex, one was on Gatecoin. So I got hacked twice. And
that's an expensive haircut.
Dude, I honestly have deleted the number from my head. It was Ethereum. I have deleted the number from my head because at today's prices, it's unfathomable. It makes you want to hurl. Just like when I opened an old Bitcoin wallet 3 days ago and saw transactions that I made in 2016. Because we were just getting into it. We were sending tons of crypto to move to sports
What'd you
betting.
do? Use 10 Bitcoins for a pizza?
More or less. It's sitting in 5 Dimes wallet or something like that. Yes, because that's how we got involved with crypto. We needed an easier way to fund our sports betting accounts. So the Full Dog told me, Pisky, learn crypto. And I'm like, where do I even begin? So in the early days, sending 10 Bitcoin was nothing. What's 10 Bitcoin worth today?
That's $800,000.
Canadian,
Canadian.
62, over 600,000 US. But you know what I mean? So in hindsight is 2020. We should have quit betting in 2016 and just sat on Bitcoin. And we'd probably be in a better place today than we are now.
No.
But we didn't know, and
I need a loan, by the way.
What's that?
I need a loan, by the way.
I see, that's another loan. You're talking a crypto loan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get it.
But you can do that in DeFi. So another DeFi thing. And shout out to everyone who have been texting me and saying, Pisky, you mentioned DeFi for 2 seconds in the last episode. You said that we can make north of 15% on our money, which is absolutely true. It's happening for me right now. How do you do it? Is their next question. And it's tough for me to just text people back and forth. Like, obviously, there's a lot going on here. So I have committed to making a guide. I will make a guide. If you're a regular listener of the Always Betting podcast, I will send you the guide for free. I'll probably put it behind a paywall eventually for all the strangers out there.
This guy.
But no, but honestly,
Pisky Positivo, man of the people. I will put together a guide for you.
Well, people are texting
You're
me.
such a good you're a good person.
That's what you do. That's how you help.
Someone asked me for a guide in 1986. They're still waiting.
Well, people have been waiting for me as well. When you're a one-man show, it's tough. Things take a long time. But I will be putting together a guide on how I do DeFi, decentralized finance. But warning right now, if the place I tell you to go to that I'm in gets hacked, it is not my baby. It is not. It is risky. There are inherent risks. You got to look up the risks yourself. I can tell you how to do it, but I am not responsible for anything that may go wrong. But I am 100% honest, and I can tell you with 100% certainty I've been doing it for about 5-6 years now, and nothing terrible has happened to me. The only hack that has happened to me is in the early days with Gatecoin and Bitfinex. So protect yourself. Don't leave your stuff on an exchange. FTX is another recent...
That criminal.
Yeah. That's another, you know what I mean? What happens if they spend all your money? You have to be in control of your crypto. That's the whole point of crypto. Don't leave it in a centralized location. Not your keys, not your coin. Not your password, not your coin. If they're with somebody else, they're their coins, regardless of what it says on a screen.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Public service announcement.
I think we drilled it home.
Pisky told you.
What's next, Godfather? Let's go to celebrities. Celebrities are not allowed to be in sports betting
as of
anymore as of yesterday. What are your thoughts on that, Godfather? I've been talking
I think it's about time. I think obviously they waited until after the Super Bowl, and it's too much. It's unnecessary. It's bad enough that we're inundated with all these ads, basically making it look like, hey, you need extra pocket money? Come to FanDuel, come to DraftKings, come to BetMGM. Like, it's bad enough that that's infiltrated. It's bad enough. I mean, you went to a Super Bowl party hosted by Bet99 and mass, that's plenty.
That's
for them, for them to do this celebrity association game, right? No,
it's trouble for the kids. It really is
bad,
because if they see Austin Matthews, if they see Connor McDavid, and these gambling companies aren't stupid, right? No. Throw in Gretzky in there for people of our generation or your generation.
People. Yes, absolutely. So
this had to happen. I wish it would have happened sooner.
Yep, absolutely. No,
I'm not gonna miss, and I think they should. I think they should take it a step further, and that's something that I talked with the Toastmaster people yesterday. Is that I think they got to treat it like cigarettes and alcohol. I really do. No. And then the argument is everyone has a choice, but they're shoving it down the throats. No,
everyone has a choice. You have a choice when you're watching a hockey game, a football game, a soccer game, a basketball game. You have a choice.
Good point.
Choice.
There's no choice. And it has effect on
any legislation that stops making me see that one particular
Which one is it?
I don't even want to say his name. Mr. $1 Million Bets and $2. You know who it is. I can't stand that guy.
Jamie Foxx?
No. Drake.
Drake.
Fuck you. Like go live in your fucking $200 million fucking mansion and just shut the fuck up. How about that? See, okay. Sorry for the swearing again. I've been told I gotta calm it down.
Who's he with? I think he's with Stake. We haven't played there yet. Yeah, we haven't played there. They're not regulated though. They're not regulated.
No, I'm not playing there. Don't ask me nothing. I'm not going there. I'm telling you, I don't like that guy.
Take some of Drake's money. Doesn't that make you feel good?
Drake's money. With fake bets. Like, come on. At least us recreational people don't make fake bets.
Yeah, that's right? Annoying.
Drake doesn't get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to watch Hugo Humbert versus Gail Monfils. Okay? That's not real. That's fake.
Let's talk about that. Yes. Folks, we made, actually a couple days later, I think that was even bigger of a bet, and we lost it. So
it's okay, that's right.
It's called always betting. It's not called always winning. But
correct.
Yes, we had a big tennis bet, and I laughed because it's on our sheet, and I know the Godfather's like sweating buckets, and he private DMs me and says, Pesca, I don't like this. I'm like, what do you what? Don't like what? We're too heavy. We're too heavy now. I don't like it. So I'm like, dude, things have been going well. We can up the unit.
More money, more problems. Everybody knows it.
No, I refuse. I'm betting $500 max. I don't care what you say. Oh man. So okay, did you get up at 5 a.m.?
Yes.
And you watched it from the start. Where did you watch it? Take us through.
On my computer. There's all kinds of links.
Isn't your computer in your room? Your setup?
Yeah, so people sleeping, heavy sleepers. Plus, I'm not. I didn't
heavy sleepers. What are you talking about? I haven't seen. He lost the first set. You must have been going Comanche.
I was going fucking nuts. I was going nuts. All I could think of was you and my too heavy statement that you let everybody else in on, and he's down one set already. Then a couple of Baby Jesus Christos came out, and then, you know,
he turned it around.
He turned it around. He heard me.
How many espressos?
Oh, after the first set, I was at like minimum 4. And
Come on.
Yes, probably 8 by the end of the show.
Jesus Christ.
Buddy.
I'm waking up. I'm like, oh, was that game on? How'd we do?
And it was already graded when you got up.
I know. Immediate grade?
Immediate, because, I'm not letting you get in there and put the numbers in first. I don't like that.
So, folks, we have a system on our
first
Google
the grade, the coloring, then the numbers.
We have a Google Sheets document that we track all our bets on. You should be tracking your bets. If you're betting on anything,
of course,
track your bets.
Well, if you're recreational, 100%.
Exactly. Recreational or professional, track your bets.
We don't care about that.
My role is, because I gave the Godfather shit early on. I'm like, dude, you stick to the color coding, because he has like a green highlighter and a red highlighter. And I said, let me do the numbers, because if you don't, I'm going to lose track and I'm not going to pay attention. I know myself.
I need
structure.
You're calling me incompetent on the show?
No, you listened. But he gets all insulted when I go in there and put the number in that updates all our like statistics and everything. All the cells are pre-formatted and shit. So he gets pissed at me when I go in and put the number before he grades the highlight.
It's not the process. It's not the process, and that's always been your problem.
Oh my God.
Okay, you're a contrarian. You're anti everything.
So I just posted a picture on Twitter today. I'm at the WeWork Scotia Plaza.
Scotia Plaza is fantastic.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The 41st
I'll come
floor.
down for Scotia Plaza, but none of these other.
Come on, York's fine too.
York is okay.
York, you get, or I guess it's one university. You get entire floors to yourself. We can create the Familia floor. You know what I mean? This place is great, but they sold a floor. They rented it out or something like that, so it's very difficult to get in here now. So I was lucky enough, and I hope you guys appreciate the lighting. The lighting in these phone booths are much better than the ones at university. Yeah. So I'm here, and I posted a picture of my Spank Odds Open overlooking downtown Toronto. Beautiful. And our friends over at STX is an exchange here in Ontario. So if you're an originator and you want the best prices on major markets, very tough. You got to go to STX. You have to have an account there. So that's a little plug for them. They're always asking me to do that kind of stuff. There you go. But the thing is, the stuff that we play, live betting, predominantly, middling, and some of the other stuff, the weird stuff that we bet, like they just don't have markets for. They're still too young. So that's why I'm not at STX again for the 100th time, because I've tried to explain this to people. We're not smart enough. What do you want? We're recreational.
That XTX person, she has an interest in us. I don't know why. Keeping an eye.
She's
keeping an eye on this.
No. She's good. She's good fun. She's actually agreed to come onto this podcast. Did you know that? We got to get her on. Yeah,
We'll get her on. We're not animals. We'll behave. I'll behave.
It'd be a nice change up.
We like people. We like company. First of all, anybody that's been on our podcast, I don't know, I've been noticing they seem to make it on other podcasts too. So I mean, we can't we can't be terrible people.
I mean, maybe we're a little always betting starter package.
Maybe.
He's talking about Adam Beagle Bets. He was just on Circles Off, and Adam did magical things on our podcast. 4-5-0.
We gotta have him back on.
Every Super Bowl he's coming on like that. Yeah. Adam, if you're watching, every Super Bowl you're booked. You're booked. You started with us. Now that's it. Once you're in the Familia, are you allowed to get out, Godfather?
No. We determine who comes in and who goes out.
So where was I going? Oh, so SDX broke my balls a little bit and said, what, just one screen? What the hell's going on here? One screen? You do your work on one screen?
Well, maybe you might want to show them the
amount of tabs I have open right now.
Well, the tabs. First of all, again, it's a common misconception that too many tabs are for losers. I don't.
So what? The question here that I wrote down for us: what's your setup like at home? Do you have multiple screens?
I have 2 laptops. I don't have multiple screens. I'm too lazy to do all that stuff.
Multiple laptops?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have my old setup in your garage. You know that, right?
Yes, but that means I got to go get it. That means I got to put it together. Are you crazy?
It's big and bulky.
For what?
I told Britt that I wanted to potentially set it back up at the house. She told me over my head, but no chance.
Why?
No chance. Because it's too big and bulky and ugly. I mean, it is. Like, God, I built that. I built that in the early...
Stop.
2012 or
don't
something
let Don't let me DM her and say you say blasphemous things about the setup.
Okay, would Nat
throw up a picture of your setup and let our listeners decide whether or not it's big and bulky and ugly.
No,
I say no.
Well, would Nad let you set it up in your base in your?
We don't talk about me. Don't worry about that. If I wanted it,
you know,
I don't want it because I'm recreational, so I don't need to be. I don't need to have 20. I don't need to pretend I'm in a sports bar. I'm at the Circa Sports to do what I do. Right? Otherwise, yeah.
I think it's very handy on busy days. So if I want to sit down and do some middling of college basketball Saturday, an extra screen. I got a massive screen at home that my laptop just plugs in, so it gives me more real estate to work with.
There you go.
But for day-to-day stuff, I'm fine with the tabs right now. But if you're doing some trading, I highly recommend that you do get some extra
Absolutely.
screens.
So STX is going to come on the podcast?
Tabitha says she would. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get her on. Let's have a little refreshing. Right. Female in the sports betting world. Well, let's open the door for her to come on our podcast, so then she can go on 5 or 6 other different sports betting podcasts. Right? Let's do that. Right?
She said she wants pre-arranged questions though. So she doesn't look stupid.
She doesn't want to wing it like we do.
I said, listen. There's only one rule. You do get a roadmap. Yeah. And the only rule on this podcast, we've said it once, and we'll say it again. You can't make us look stupid.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
No,
it doesn't matter if you look stupid. You can't make us look stupid.
No, you do that, you're not invited back, and that's all.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of like WeWork and being downtown here, Godfather, I want to show you a picture. And you tell me what's happening here and how I have to deal with this situation going forward.
You see,
what do I do with this?
What do I
do with it?
I told you.
What do I do with this?
I'm telling you
right now. You know how awkward that made me? What happens to this person if the Godfather's sitting there trying to put bets in?
First, well, at a minimum, I'm trying to put bets in. No, now you're fucking with the livelihood. Okay, like no, that can't go. He's getting a bump. He's getting a walk-by bump.
Hey,
something's happening there. You're not freaking me out with these virtual reality fucking goggles you have on. I told you that place makes me nervous. That's why I don't come down. That guy is staring at me across the table. There's a fucking problem. I'm telling you straight up. Something's happening. I'm dropping my coffee. His little milkshake is going on the floor. Something's happening. The fuck is that?
That pisses you off, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, no, you don't like that. Well,
I'm trying to concentrate. This is a place of work. We work. What are you doing? Watching pornography on that fucking thing? No.
Apparently, there's an app that you can have on those goggles that you see everyone naked. So maybe he was just, looking at my physique or something.
Well, let me tell you. Okay.
I knew that would bother you, by the way. I knew.
Absolutely. Don't ever let that happen.
Take that.
Where was that on? That was a one.
That's at university, yeah.
University?
That was about 5 minutes. That was me standing up to go down to meet you for lunch at Barty's.
I wasn't even in the vicinity. You see, me even just when we went on the little tour with Proline John, if I see that guy with that fucking thing on then, like, I don't know.
And he's walking towards you like this.
Oh, no, he's getting... He's getting a body check. He's getting off tackled. Let me tell you straight up. I don't give
Stone
a shit.
Cold Stunner? Would you give him a stunner?
Something like no, dude. No, I told you, that place is a cult.
It's not a cult. And another one of our former guests on here said that Toastmasters. What's with you guys in cults? Anything new? Oh, that's a cult. Don't go near that. Stay in your lane.
I never called Toastmasters.
You say WeWork is a cult.
Yes. Just like Aritzia is a cult, Sephora is a cult, Lululemon's a cult. I know these things.
Lululemon is the most comfortable clothing
on
the planet. Okay, come on.
Lululemon pants and then pedicures. Don't let me put a tail on you.
Oh man. Okay, Godfather. I got some random questions here to go through. The first one is from @pig_vig on X. He sent out a question. I like that people are doing this lately, engaging. They're looking for engagement on their posts and stuff like that. Because guys, if you do get a lot of engagement on your posts on Twitter will start paying you, like actually passive income. So yeah, I encourage everyone to ask open-ended questions like this. But
have you been monetized yet?
Not yet. I'm still trying. Okay. I'm still trying. I got to cut.
We'll have to work out my fee because 90% of your posts include me.
I'll give you a cut. Don't worry.
Yeah, whatever.
@PigVig says, "What occupation do you currently have, or what was your occupation prior to sports betting?" So let's talk about that a little bit. Both of us are currently retired, I guess, right, Godfather? So.
Well, I'm definitely retired. I get a pension check every month.
Lucky guy.
Yeah, what are you gonna do, lucky guy? I fucking broke my balls for 35 years, lucky guy.
I'm trying to do the entrepreneurial thing, folks. I've been at it for 2 years now, trying to set up different streams of revenue coming in. It's tough, though. It's very difficult. I got little bits and pieces here and there that I'm sure our friends over at the CRA will be happy about. I am planning to declare this income because it is income. It's just there's not a lot of it right yet, so I'm still working at it, and that's currently what I'm doing. And I'm praying that I can make this work. But I really feel like it's going to work. So I am not stopping. But prior to sports betting, what were you doing?
Well, everyone knows I was an employee of the Ontario Lottery Gaming Corporation for 35 years.
Yeah. Okay. You did Draws Audit. We know that. Before that.
What do you mean before that? That was
before.
I was a university student, then I started at the OLG.
Okay. What did you do before that? Like, because this guy made me go back into history. So, for example, when I was a teenager doing summer jobs, I worked for an irrigation system company. I was literally a ditch digger. I dug ditches. Manual labor, hard.
Yeah, that's right. Well,
feel this? This is sweat. I also filled Bubba cakes. You know what Bubba cake is?
No, you know what? I'm not.
Beer drinkers. Yes. You know the Bubba cakes? I filled those at Molson. I also was a package sorter at UPS.
Really? No,
yes.
I can't see you doing that.
It's terrible. It's fucking brutal.
I'm sure.
It was brutal, but I did it. And I also worked a summer in Switzerland at an international camp. Yeah, that was a cool experience.
Yes,
very wealthy. The children of very wealthy individuals. The Prince of Saudi Arabia was there.
Yes, and somehow the Prince of Saudi Arabia entrusted his heir to you in the Swiss Alps. Madon.
Yeah, that was fun. So what did the Godfather do before?
Well, every summer I went to work at the mattress factory that my father was the foreman at.
Oh my goodness!
Yes,
that couldn't have been easy.
That's not easy at all. The hardest job for the summer was mine. The first 3 summers I worked with my pops as his assistant.
There's no way that was easy.
No, it wasn't.
What did he have you doing? What can you do at a mattress shop?
What do you mean? You make mattresses for all of Ontario, one of the largest manufacturers, Bedford Bedding, King Coil mattresses.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding? I've worked everything. Wrapping table, wrapping the mattresses, shipping.
Holy shit. that's heavy, no? Back in the day,
Yes.
mattresses. Yeah.
Yes.
What about water beds?
Stack them 12 high on skids. Yes.
With
At
your
14, 15. What were you doing at 14, 15? You're playing G.I. Joe.
No, I just told you I was. No, at 14, 15, I was bussing tables at Restaurant de la Place.
And there you go.
That's what I was doing. And my dad, shout out to my dad, because my dad said, he worked in the restaurant business his entire life, as did my grandfather. They're Greeks, right? My dad wouldn't let me work in the kitchen. He said, "No way. You're going to do something else. You are not working in a restaurant." He let me be a busboy, but he said I am not allowed to work in the kitchen. So shout out to my pops, because I'd probably still be there. Yeah, I'd probably still be there.
I'm not surprised, and what a favor the world could have had. But anyway, but no, I worked at the mattress factory.
Okay.
Okay, where school finished on June 30th. Canada Day.
At work.
At work. I said, "Pa, it's a holiday." He looked at me and he said, "Canada Day is inventory day. Let's go."
Oh, God.
One time, what's the summer of what, 84, 83? And there was a hurricane in Toronto. The factory got hit by a tornado.
Okay.
Okay? Wow. Demolished the factory.
Stop.
My brother and I, yes, Western Road and Shepherd. My brother and I are watching this on CP24. We are doing high fives. We're jumping up because the factory made the news. The news. Okay. Right? And I'm like, and I call my dad over and I say, "Papa, look, Bedford Bedding got hit. No work tomorrow." Me and Johnny high-fiving. 7 o'clock in the morning, I get woken up. "Let's go." I said, "Pa, I showed you the hurricane, the tornado." He goes, "Yeah, we going to go cleaning up at the business." For 2 weeks, all I did was clean up bricks. It was harder than my regular job that was hard enough. Yes, missing work. Ever.
Oh my God.
Ever.
I gotta give it to you. You portray your dad so funny, like with the Italian accent.
Buddy, that guy there was hardcore.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. You told me a lot of stories.
Hardcore. On Friday, because it was all piecework. My father was in charge of the piece workers. Okay, all the guys building the mattresses. Right. Okay. So the more they built, the more money they made. So in the summer, when there were a lot of orders, right? On Fridays, the floor manager would buy the workers a couple of cases of beer.
Okay.
Right? So we'd be finishing our day with a beer. Who comes down the floor? Tony Mirabelle with a broom, weeping around the people. So all the workers were like, "Hey!" A lot of them, half were Italian, half were Jamaican. So the Jamaicans like, "Tony man, come and have a beer." My father with the broom sweeping around everybody. First of all, he scowled at me that I had a beer in my hands, right?
Yeah.
We talk later, right? And then he tells the workers, when they said, "Have a beer," he's like, "Don't drink on the job." And he just kept on sweeping all around them. This was him. Anyway.
Any sports betting around at that point, in that time?
Well, of course there was, but it was just NFL.
Your pops partake in that shit at all?
No, my father would play the Toto Calcio from Italy. So it was basically a parlay sheet that would be mailed to him from Italy. And he had to get he had to get it back. And it was the 1-2-X situation.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And he played that all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's hilarious. I know that generation too was big, like poker guys. I know my grandfather was like big under the restaurant. They had a table, a lot of smokes, a lot of beers.
Not poker at my house. They played gin rummy.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. 4 uncles and a couple of other guys would come to my house every Sunday night to play. My mom would feed 10 men, and it was at my house. And that's where I learned to swear.
Did you go around
That's
giving
where I
drinks
learned
to
to
everyone?
swear in a time. Absolutely, I did.
Yeah?
Absolutely, I did. That was my job.
Maltasante? No,
Pretty much. Nobody pulled out a gun and shot me in the foot.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. This is good. I hope everyone's enjoying this. Little stories here and there. I think it's fantastic.
That's all I got.
So, there you go. There you go. That's what we were doing prior to sports betting.
Yeah.
Tough labor. Tough labor. But not to say that this isn't tough. This is tough mentally a lot of times.
This is tough. This is stressful too.
Okay, Godfather, we're already done. Can you believe this?
Unbelievable. God, when we start yapping, what are you going to do?
I know. Okay, last one. This will probably help a few people. So this is from @ChinaManiac on X, and he wants to know, what would be 3 pieces of advice you would give a lifelong losing sports bettor if they were looking to improve?
This has blown up. This is blown up on Twitter, and of course, you're in the mix.
Well, people trying to monetize, of course. Of course, I'm in the mix.
You're in the mix.
I put a 1, 2, 3. Number 1, right out of the gate, betting partnership. If you have an account, a big account like a 365 that's down a lot, or a DraftKings or a FanDuel, any of them, and you're down a lot, find a betting partnership. There are very successful groups out there. If you need some recommendations, you can DM me, and you link up with them, and they'll help you out. They'll get that money back. You give a percentage away. That's kind of how betting partnerships work.
Yeah.
That would be my suggestion, because to turn it around, to go from a loser to a winner, very difficult. Very difficult, because normally losers in sports betting, it's more than just picking games, right? There's an emotional factor. Yeah. You got to stay even keel. How many emojis? How many robot emojis do I send you weekly, Godfather?
Too many.
You got, you know what I mean? You got to take the emotion out of it. And I feel like when people have lost their entire life, they have bad habits. It's not so much that they're just dumb or stupid. Like, we're the dummies. But it's your habits that are the problem, right? Yeah. You get into a certain way of doing things, and you're doing it wrong at the core. So
I felt sorry to interrupt. I felt a little bad because, the person that asked the question, I think maybe they could have phrased the question a little differently, because a lot of the engagement that I saw anyway was a lot of people saying, lifetime loser. Stop it. Well, what I mean?
I would recommend that as well. Yes.
A lot of people hit this person up with that, right? And again, we understand, the gambling space online is just full of, braggarts and super smart, self-proclaimed geniuses and this and that, right?
A lot of garbage.
But you know what I mean? Like a lot of I don't think it's necessary to hit somebody with shit like that. Obviously, they're reaching out. I mean,
I think this guy's a sharp, by the way. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he was on the Circles Off podcast as well. And that's not to say that everyone that goes on there is sharp, but.
Oh, really? And so
I think so.
And he called him lifetime loser.
He didn't say. I don't think he was talking about himself.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
I think it was just a general question to get some engagement going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, that was my interpretation. I could have it wrong. Again, I don't follow this shit religiously. Yeah, I really don't. That's just not what I do. And then my second and third thing was learn how to do arbitrage and learn how to do middling. These are very safe strategies, right? Betting partnerships, arbitrage, middling. Those were my 3 suggestions.
Good luck.
That's what's worked for me. So I'm just relaying what's out there, right?
Honest. Do you have middling and arbitrage comes out of your mouth at least 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week?
Because it works, man. It works. Now, okay, is there ways to make that more efficient and to win more money? Yes, there are. But you're playing a different game at that point, right? There's variance. And you got to dig a little bit deeper and stuff like that. If you just want to be lazy, make a couple extra bucks here and there, arbitrage and middling. But it takes time because you got to stare at the screen for a long time.
Yes.
So, that's my encouragement. But again, if you're a lifetime loser at sports betting, I'm going to make the assumption, it's just an assumption, you shouldn't assume, you make an ass out of you and me, you know that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make the assumption that you don't have the discipline to stick to that strategy. So it might work for a weekend, and then you pull a Pisky and you miss 49 consecutive middles, and it costs you 10 grand, and then you're like, well, what the fuck? This doesn't work. Right? And then you stray away from the strategy, and then you're back at square one. Casing. Right? So
yeah, that's just it. And I mean, again, this sports wagering, it is what you make of it. I mean, some people are really happy having a 16 parlay on a Saturday. Just it's kind of like popping a beer and watching the sports team of their choice. You know what I mean?
I don't encourage that at all.
No, but
take that money and put it in the S&P 500
well,
or crypto if you want.
Yeah,
just brace yourself, because what goes up comes down rapidly. We all know that.
But you understand the point. I mean, it's not for everybody, but certainly is definitely at the front of it's mainstream now. So
it is, and Rangerstown 91, just to wrap this all up, he asked me, how does one go about getting a partnership? Well, if you're a winner...
Good question.
That is a good question. If you're a winner, you want a betting partnership to be able to get down more, right? When you run out of accounts, right? You sign up. You get together with a betting group, and they will help you get volume down. That's one way, if you're a winner. If you're not a winner, and you just want to get down, help these betting groups get down, that's another way. That's another form of betting partnership.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you get a bunch of accounts, you fund them, you link up with a group, they send you the plays, you bet the plays, you give a certain percentage to the group, you keep a certain percentage for yourself. That's a betting partnership. That make sense, Godfather?
Yeah, absolutely makes sense.
All right.
Absolutely makes sense. But I mean, I think the essence of his question was like, how do I do that if I don't know people? You know what I mean? So again,
pay attention, ask questions. I'm happy to share what I know, knowledge-wise. Maybe a recommendation. But the thing is, here's the thing too. Losing Better is going to watch this and say, "Oh, boom, problem solved. I'm going to link up with a betting partnership or a betting group." You got to be reliable, and you got to be trustworthy, right? So not every betting group, like even myself, when people reach out and say, "Hey, Pisky, let's do something together," like, bro, I don't know you, so it's very tough to pull the trigger there. Like, sometimes, get on. My recommendation would be get online, make some friends, go to Bet Bash, shake some hands in person. That's how we did it.
I was just about to say, you cannot undersell the networking aspect of this industry, because that's where you're going to meet these people.
Yeah. And you know what? Sorry, go ahead.
You're just going to be surrounded by like-minded people, whatever that mind may be, right?
Yeah.
Some people might want to be a mover. Some people might just be looking for someone to help them get down, as you said. And you're gonna make these connections. And it's just, everything falls into place from there. So
yes. So if I could go back and revise my answer, you got to network first, because it is definitely difficult to make those connections via Twitter, via Instagram, via TikTok, whatever. Go to Bet Bash, shake some hands. I'm telling you, it'll probably be one of the best decisions you've ever made in your life. We'll end it there.
Sounds good. That is true.
And all that being said, I think we got to give credit where credit is due. Shout out to our betting partners that have been doing extraordinarily well lately. So, how do you say it in Italian? Grazie.
Mille grazie. What do you like? Why you gotta do all this fucking gesticulation shit? Mille grazie. Many thanks. 1,000 francs if you want.
Many thanks. Yes. Never like to get too comfortable though, because we know, just like crypto, crazy. It's not going to go up forever. There are going to be dips, so you don't want to get too excited. Godfather, the last thing I want to say is that we've been invited somewhere.
Oh, Jesuit priest. You always save the worst to the end.
No, this
just
is
finished telling you on the podcast I don't like going anywhere.
Well, this individual is a restaurateur, and he owns a place in Liberty Village, and he wants us to go try his pizza. And he told me, he said, Pisk, don't say anything before you come try it, because maybe you're not going to like it, and you can't give us a shout out. But I said,
got a name?
Do I got a name of the individual or the restaurant? I got both. What do you want? The restaurant. Nodo, Liberty Village.
I actually.
The guy's name is Charlie on Instagram. Actually, an Italian name that you can maybe help me with. Calogero.
Say again.
Calogero.
Palagio.
Yeah.
Sicily.
I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to butcher it. Anyway, he has graciously invited us to the restaurant. He said, give him a heads up when we're going to go. Okay. You can come try the pizza. And I told, but he said,
got an espresso machine?
Well, that's what I said. I said, sir, you don't need to worry about the pizza. We're going to love the pizza, I guarantee you. We're not food critics that are going to shit on a place. If we don't like the crusts. But what you got to be careful of, if you have an espresso machine, it better be top notch. Otherwise, this guy's going to tear you apart.
Fair. No, we go check it out, and it's funny it's funny that you bring this up.
Appreciate the invitation, Charlie.
I ran into someone from the old neighborhood last week when I was at the restaurant with my daughters. He was an old dance dad.
Okay.
And this guy is a very well liked person in the old neighborhood, St. Clair. Okay. So, we shot the shit. It's been a long time, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I was on his social media page because he gave me his stuff. Yeah, follow me. I don't tell people to follow me because you're connected and it's terrible. But anyway, he had some dinner reviews from Nodo.
Oh, really?
I kid you not.
Really?
I kid you not. And this guy's been around the block. He's my age.
Okay.
This guy's been around the block. So if he says it's good, I'm going in with confidence. So let's go do this. Let's make it happen.
Let's go do it. Okay.
But if the espresso is shit, I don't hold back.
That's trouble.
I don't drink a shitty coffee and then say, "Oh, that's an 8."
No.
You got to be good to get a 7.
I have a Godfather file on my phone that has a lot of espresso reviews. I apologize. I'm not posting them nearly enough, and I'm going to start being better. I promise you. But the Godfather shit all over the espresso at Tom Colicchio's restaurant in Las Vegas. He said this place is I think this place serves steaks, not coffee.
You can cook a $200 piece of meat. But you don't call somebody to calibrate this machine. It's not even. You're getting 5% crema and 95% burnt Arabica coffee. Like, what is this? You're fucking with my culture.
Another time, folks, just to let you know that he is not lying and not exaggerating in the slightest. One of our year-end parties, Banfield group parties, we went up to the CN Tower, the top of the CN Tower, for dinner, and Godfather was one of our guests. And
3 of them I sent back. Tell them.
He had the poor waiter running back and forth, because
the manager says,
the espresso.
No, I'm gonna make it for you. Yeah, okay, buddy, go ahead.
And I witnessed that. It was awkward AF, as they say. So, yes, he is not screwing around. But thank you for the invite, and we will see you soon at Nodo Liberty Village. All right, Godfather, let's wrap this up. We're wasting 9 minutes over. Crazy.
9 minutes? What are you going to do? We didn't even talk about you going to get a pedicure. Next episode, I want a rundown.
On that note, all right, everyone. Ciao.
Ciao.
See you guys next week.